Well, the FedEx man just brought the old PowerHead auger from Harbor Freight, 160 bucks on sale. I priced him out to rent him $75 a day, so weighs him for 2 days. I probably broke even. By the time you factor in the tax and the insurance and the time to take it back and go get it and everything. Well, I'll have to give him an A on the packaging for this one. Usually that Harbor Freight cardboard like falls apart, disintegrates when you touch it. This is some good cardboard, the kind we're used to. And it's packaged in this styrofoam here with plenty of clearance, so even if you do have a minor puncture in the box, it's not going to get damaged. And the piece on top, plus it was wrapped in that bubble wrap there, so no worries about the shipping for this guy. It came all the way from California to the East Coast via Federal Express. So I'm pretty pleased overall with the build quality of this guy. There's nothing that stands out right away, and not much to complain about right off the bat. Just a quick look around. There's an on-off AC switch here. Of course, your spark plug, your pull rope. It's a little primer bulb, and your gas tank, which is transparent, which is nice. You can see how much gasoline is in there. Nice little reminder that you have to have a 25-to-1 mix, which is actually 5.2 ounces of oil to every gallon of gas, but they seem to be happy with 5 fluid ounces. So my only concern right here is this guy, the throttle. It's made out of plastic, and there's nothing protecting that should it take a tumble and something get bashed into it. I suspect if anything's going to go, that's probably one of the things that's going to go first, but keep your heads up and protect it when you're storing it and using it. A quick note on the handles, it does have some sort of a rubberized coating over it, so you get a good grip on it. That's a good positive there. Here's the drive shaft where the auger blade is going to go on. It's just secured with this little pin. And there's a little clip that goes to the end of the pin to keep the pin from falling out. I've noticed on these Predator engines they put quite a few warning stickers about you must do this or it voids the warranty. This one's no exception. Here's a sort of generic one that says you must operate properly or it voids the warranty. Another one below it says you must clean the air filter regularly or that voids the warranty. Then up here, well, it's upside down, but it says you must run this every 15 to 20 minutes every 3 months and add fuel stabilizer or the warranty is voided. Then in the instruction manual, once again they note that you must have the fuel stabilizer or the warranty is void. And of course they also say you must use the 25-to-1 mixed gasoline / oil or your warranty is void. Now that makes a lot of sense. I guess reading between the lines, they must have a lot of people that either don't take care of these properly or abuse them and then bring them back and expect them to give you a new unit under warranty. Yeah, the standard warranty is 90 days on this guy, and that's for retail use. Of course, if you're using it for commercial business application, all bets are off. So I'm not really sure they're going to enforce any of these things, especially things like you must run it every 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, how would they know? And how would they know if you added fuel stabilizer to it? So, I don't know. Of course, they're all good common sense things to do anyway. But just a heads up on those. Here's the auger. Seems decent enough quality. I guess my only concern about this guy is if they really have enough welds on this. Like here. There's one little spot weld right here. Up in here. Here we got a weld line. It's about an inch and a quarter long. And down here again, there's just one little spot weld there. And on this one there's a little spot weld. And then on the bottom we have 2 cutting blades. And the center point, seems to be plenty of weld down on this end. And there's a bit more weld on the end here, but here's a bit more weld on the back side. Okay. Still, it's not a continuous weld wherever metal meets metal, so I don't know. We'll see how that works out. So this is an 8-inch auger bit off of a PTO-driven 3-point hitch device. I just want to compare the welds on this compared to that small 6-inch Harbor Freight. It is pretty much the same strategy after using on the Harbor Freight, so more solid weld at the very top, and then down on the bottom they put a bit of a short run here. Just a short run, and over here on this one, second to the bottom, they put a little longer bead. It's pretty much the same philosophy they did on the Harbor Freight, so probably no fears there. Yes, this auger takes a 25-to-1 gas to oil mix, which is a bit of a pain because all my steel gear runs 50 to 1. So I just mixed up a half a gallon here. And typically 50 to 1 is 2.6 ounces per gallon, so just double that for 25 to 1, so 5.2 ounces per gallon. Or in the case of a half a gallon here, just 2.6 ounces. So I will never burn that much through that auger at any one time. I went to start this the first time, and this is pretty tough to pull. It's like there's a lot of compression on this engine, and there's no compression relief switch. So be careful when you give it a tug, you don't hurt your wrist or something. We'll see how it starts this time. It's pretty good. It started right up. I have not run this since yesterday. It wasn't too bad to pull. If you just noticed when I was running out a few minutes ago, it does smoke quite a bit. That seems to be the normal for this thing, I guess, with the 25 to 1 ratio. There's so much oil in that gasoline, it's normal. So if you have any hippies living next to you, you're going to probably get some dirty looks. Some interesting notes in the user's manual beside the, the normal things like make sure you've checked for buried utilities and there's no landscaping fabric that you're going to be drilling through and getting caught up in the auger. They do say that you don't want to be running the auger at full throttle without a load on it. And also, after running it for an extended period of time, you want to let it idle for a couple minutes to dissipate the heat and let it cool down. Here's one note about long-term storage I'm not sure I really agree with. They talk about keeping the fuel tank full if you're going to store it for an extended period of time. I know the theory that's to keep the moisture out of the tank and everything, but frankly I don't want that gasoline going bad inside the tank with that ethanol in there and gumming the works up. So personally I prefer to drain it out and run the carb dry, but your choice, do as you see fit. Okay, we'll go drill some holes. I'm going to use this for putting in some fence posts for the garden, and also I do a lot of planting and it's pretty hard clay soil around here. This thing would be awesome for preparing the soil. You can drill a couple concurrent holes, 4 or 5, and loosen up the soil and mix it up together good, as opposed to having to get a pickaxe and shovel out and do it that way. So I'll do some of that for us too, see how it works out. They do note that you don't want to add any extra force to the machine when you're drilling. Just go ahead and give it full throttle and let the machine work its way down. Don't put pressure on it, and also don't wiggle it back and forth side to side, especially if you get it caught. They say you're going to bend the shaft inevitably, so they probably know what they're talking about. They want you to go ahead and dig it out with a shovel if that happens. My suggestion too, if you have very rocky soil, don't try using this auger, maybe any auger. I mean, that's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, Just certain things the machine's not going to dig through without causing a lot of problems for you, and rocks are pretty tough. Yep, so let's see how much auger we have here. So we're talking about 22 inches of actual metal, but the top of the shaft, if you don't go past the pin, you're talking about 27 and a half inches. This thing's just pretty light. It's easy to control with one person, no problem here. Unless you're a real girly man, you shouldn't have any problems with it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and drill a couple holes here. This is recently tilled, so the top couple inches are loose, but down below there is nice nasty Maryland clay. Turn the switch on. Shouldn't need choked, hopefully. bit of tough going there. I mean, it does a job, awesome, but I mean, the ground's hard, is what I'm saying. And they say run at full throttle, but I found that just backing the throttle off a little bit started cutting through a little bit better. Sort of like when you're going through steel. Sometimes slower is better than fast. Sounds pretty good. Pretty impressed so far. It fights a little bit when it starts hitting some stones or some really hard soil, but really not that bad at all. Nothing to complain about. Pretty much what I would say you should expect. Now, if I come out with some virgin soil, this is where my garden's going to be here, so it doesn't hurt to put a hole in the middle of the yard. Don't think I'm that crazy. I'm pretty sure there's no utilities out here. I don't know why there would be. Okay, yeah, so I say 2 thumbs up for this baby. I'm pretty happy with it so far. If I get 2 days to use that, like I say, I'll break even over renting one at the rental place. But I suspect if I don't abuse it, it's probably going to last for quite a long time here. Looks like a good solid build, like I said earlier. Also, I noticed that after it got warmed up there, the smoking pretty much went away. So looks like just when it's getting started and the engine's cold. One last note on this Predator Auger PowerHead. I was getting ready to throw the box out into recycling, and I noticed this was inside there. I'd missed it. It's just a little mixing bottle. So if you want to do mix small amounts, you can probably use this guy as opposed to what I showed you earlier with the mixing cup. I think this looks like 600 milliliters perhaps. And while I'm at it, I also included some tools with it. Like most guys, it'll probably be, lose them or toss them. 2 Allen wrenches, spark plug wrench, little an end wrench here, an 8 and a 10 millimeter, and a screwdriver. Okay, before I jump off, let's take a look at some of the competition out there, see what else is available. Looking first at the Harbor Freight page, the device typically sells for $200. I believe I paid about $160. It was on sale. Typically you cannot use that 20% coupon on anything that has a Predator brand name on it. Some of the key specs are 45 foot-pounds of torque, up to 320 RPMs. The whole thing weighs just under 20 pounds, and it is a 52cc engine. Let's go over to Northern Tool first. They're offering a device called the Earthquake, and it is 43 cc's, a little bit smaller, selling at about $200. The big thing to remember here, though, is that it does not include a bit, so you're going to have to add a bit on top of that. The 6-inch, which is what comes with the Harbor Freight, is going to jack up another $135, so you're looking at about $335 before tax as opposed to the $160, about twice what I paid. Alright, let's jump on over to Tractor Supply. They're offering the same exact model here. However, they want $230 for it, but their bits are a little bit cheaper, about $20 cheaper. So jumping over to Home Depot, they have the Earthquake as well. Seems to be a popular brand across all the different retailers. The cheapest price yet for the basic PowerHead. They're also offering this PowerMate, and you might have seen I just did a review on the PowerMate tiller I just purchased, and I'm pretty happy with that, so this may be something worth looking at. Also, this one does come with an 8-inch bit for $250. And my tiller came with a 2-year warranty, so I'm wondering if maybe this does too. Don't forget the Harbor Freight only has a 90-day warranty on theirs. And finally, we'll jump over to Lowe's. They're offering something that looks similar to the Earthquake, but it's not. It's also 43 cc's. They're asking $249 for it. However, this does come with an 8-inch bit, so not a bad price considering the competition. And my final comment is, if you're a professional, you're going to use this thing, several times a week, several times a month for years to come. You probably know this, but you want to go out and get yourself a nice professional unit you know it's going to last. I've had a lot of experience with steel, and they just take a beating and keep on ticking. I have 2 chainsaws and a backpack blower. The first chainsaw is over 20 years old, and it just has hundreds of hours on it, and it's still going strong. Anyway, their comparable model here is this BT131. I just called my dealer, and he says he's selling this for $700. A 6-inch bit sells separately for $140, and $150 for an 8-inch bit. And he did note he could probably do a little better on that price, especially in this economy. Alright, so there you have it. There's a lineup of what's available out there, comparable models. I hope you found this helpful. Cheers.